It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you live here from Bates Nursery and Garden Center and the Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. And it is a hive of activity out there on the lot this morning already, David Bates.
Well, there is a lot going on.
There's a lot of anticipation.
There is indeed. And we do so without regard to the weather, but we will speak to the weather.
Yes.
And the weather is really going to be better than it might appear when you first glance out the window. So let's get right to it. Today is Saturday, the 29th of March. Where did March go? I guess the same place all those months go. 75 degrees for the high today, and showers, however, those will not occur until late. After 4 o'clock.
Well, it's Saturday night. You got to take a shower.
And then we move over into Sunday, 78 tomorrow, morning showers. But the likelihood of measurable or significant precipitation is, again, late, or maybe even in the early morning hours, where there could be some questionable, severe weather. You know, they're not really too clear on that yet. There's not even any watches or warnings or any of that kind of stuff out there ahead. But just be prepared, as the internet weather god Ryan Hall says. Don't be scared. Be prepared. So
that's right.
So
know where your safe space is.
Just be mindful of that as we roll into Mondays. A little cooler, 61, 41, and the early morning showers are there again. Those get out of the way pretty early in the day on Tuesday. Enjoy Tuesday, 66 degrees, partly cloudy. So we're going to have mostly sunshine, and then that'll be it for the sun until we say otherwise. April Fools is not going to be the day that will be indicative of the weather ahead, because as you look in the forecast ahead, we're in the vicinity of an inch of rain each day for the successive 4 days. Now, admittedly, that's several days off. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It also doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
It's going to be worse in some areas than it is in other areas.
So let's just look at the radar here, and you'll see that if we zoom in here, there's this precipitation that's kind of coming our way from down south, but it is south of us. And there's a lot of other, little spots here and there. So there is that. We've had.
Where's Tyler's view?
It got lost in the shuffle, but that's okay. It won't really change what happens. We've received a little under a half inch of rain this week, 561 for the month. 1787 for the year here at Bates Nursery Weather Station. And if you currently about 68 degrees, it was rather pleasant overnight. But what penalty we can likely pay for these really warm temperatures is that it's juicing up the atmosphere and increasing the likelihood of whatever may occur, be it severe thunderstorms, possible hail, maybe
a tornado,
possibly. So anyway, we're not going to.
It could snow. It's possible.
We're not going to doomcast.
Well, no,
but it's at the same time, don't be caught unaware. Things are possible, particularly going into the evening hours tomorrow. So just be mindful of that, and know your weather sources and check on them as you go into the evening.
Speaking of doomcasting.
Well, no. That's a poor segue.
No, we have. We're not going to doomcast. We're going to introduce the rest of the cast.
We're going to roomcast.
Yes,
that sounds better. And that would be Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen. Welcome in, guys. Good to. Well, I can't see Austin, but that's because we've got this Columbine in between us.
Pretty.
But it's beautiful. And it is more beautiful than Austin, so we'll just go with
it.
He's not wrong. Good morning.
David off the rip.
It is a stunner. That's why it's on the hot plate.
Yeah.
So welcome in, guys. And, of course, across the way, Tyler Blankenship, who gets us on the air and keeps us rolling.
He doesn't have weather view anymore, though. the Tyler
No.
view.
But I do have my Tyler cam.
Okay, that's true.
That's a constant.
And that's what's most important.
It absolutely is.
So, guys, we things have picked up a bit this week.
Just a little.
And we're seeing a lot of folks coming out. Everyone's getting in that gardening spirit. You know, the one thing that I failed to mention when I was talking about the weather, there's no hint in sight of there being anything like concerning cool. No, not even chills hardly. There's Tuesday, I think 41 is the overnight low. So, yeah, we've got that one night where it's just cooler. It's not frosty conditions. So we're, I guess, you know, it's pertinent to ask, is it time to plant? And it really should not be.
I mean, not for a lot of things, I don't think. Not for me personally, anyway. Now, look, there's plenty of gardeners out there that are itching to plant. And we're not going to say, no, you can't do it. But we are going to tell you, watch the weather, okay? Like David said, though, this is a nice week for not having those frosty conditions, which is nice because there's a lot of things leafing out. There's a lot of things blooming. There's a lot of things going on out there.
Sometimes you need to not look at the weather, look at the calendar. And the calendar says it's still March. And you know, our average last frost date is generally between the 15th and the 20th of April. So that's 3 weeks away, possibly. So it can still happen. You know, this run right here may be indicative that, I mean, certainly it is that the worst of it's beyond us, but it doesn't mean that it's all beyond us. So, and the other thing is that it's not all about air temperature. It's about soil temperature.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something worth speaking to, Austin. That a lot of people are wanting to plant these things in the ground, and the ground really is not ready to receive them, these warm season annuals and vegetable plants.
Yeah, they're just going to get in the ground and sit. They're just not going to move very much till the soil temperature gets up. So what really I like to recommend to people is if you're just itching to grow your tomatoes, your peppers, you got to have them. We have them to sell to you. Okay, so if you got to have them and you want to grow them, take them from our little pots and put them in a little 1 gallon pot, you know, and grow them for a minute. That means the soil temperature is already warmer. And then you can move them if you have to. If we have a night that's going to be below 30, then bring it inside the house for the night, okay? Or below 32,
And there are things that if you get them stunted while the soil is cool, even once the soil warms up, they never really recover.
Yeah, it takes them a while to get back to where they like it. So it's better to just...
You don't gain anything.
No, you don't. You don't.
And you may say, well, they've got them over here at the orange box and at the blue box. Well,
they leave them outside too.
Yes. Well, you know, and you know that's their business. But this is all we do. So we really try to educate people on, you know, how to get the best result. And you're going to get that on these warm season annuals and vegetables, but just waiting a bit. You know, there's no need. We don't want to sell them to you multiple times.
No.
We really want you to have the best success right out of the get-go. Just be patient.
Most folks have got a good spot to keep them. If you want to go ahead and buy them, that's great. But don't, you know, like I say, just keep them
and to Austin's point is great.
Yeah.
You know, step them up into a larger container and grow them. And if you want to grow them, you're going to get a much bigger start. And then if you have a cold night or two, they're very easy to move inside the garage or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
It's just hard. I already have a little stash that I'm going to buy today. And I know it's early for some of them. I wait until Mother's Day to put out all my really warm season annuals and vegetables. But when they all roll in and they're so pretty, it's hard not to get them now.
I had an email from one of the newsletter subscribers who wanted to know about arugula and lettuce specifically. And, you know, we got all these different types of lettuce. And we got, you know, we had, I don't know what we got left in arugula today because we didn't have very many flats. But what we have done is that we brought in a sampling of stuff. It's not that we don't have anything. We just don't want to infer that it's go time. Right. It's only go time if you have the proper knowledge and are equipped to deal with things.
That's right. I love growing arugula and eating it. It's one of my favorites, and it's so easy to grow.
I started my radishes last week. And I put in my carrots. Yeah, so they may end up having to get covered up.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll all be great.
Yeah.
But with all these plants coming in, we have lots of guests coming in, lots of new guests coming into the nursery, and we're getting to see a lot of people. And I just want to give a little shout out to two folks that I got to see. Shelly, who is an avid listener to the podcast. She follows us on social media. She watches the broadcast. She came out to get a Scotch broom, which I had brought onto the show, and we were sold out. Oh my gosh. But Shelly, Julia's hard at work trying to find it, and it was good to see you. And then Rachel, one of our podcast listeners, Austin and I had the pleasure of meeting her the other day. She came out and shopped, and it's just always so fun seeing our viewers, seeing our listeners, and getting to meet them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Shelly's a good time. She's loud and proud, baby. I love her. She is great.
Is that Shelly with a CH?
Does Shelly have,
No
does Shelly
SH, I
have
believe.
turquoise glasses?
Yes, that's
Okay.
Shelly.
Yeah, I think once you meet Shelly, you know you've met Shelly.
Oh,
You
yeah,
met
you
Shelly.
know.
She is fantastic, and she has
She
so
is.
many plants. Like
She's
we were talking about all the plants she has, and she's a big gardener.
She is an enthusiastic gardener.
Yes, she is,
Oh, yeah.
which is what we love.
Oh, yeah. She matches my energy good. Me and her are just loud on that line.
Oh,
Love it.
definitely. Yeah.
And then Rachel yesterday we got her into gardening. Literally, y'all. Our podcast has gotten her. She got into gardening a little bit and then found our podcast and listens to it weekly, like a lot, actually. She kind of told us. And she was taken aback a little bit yesterday when she got to meet us. So it was super nice to meet Rachel. And thank you for listening. And keep on growing. Keep on growing, Rach.
Yes, it was fantastic. But I
was
guess
fun.
we should go ahead and get into questions.
We should.
We've got
do
a
it.
question towards Austin, so let's start with that. Hey, Austin.
Hey.
Is it too soon for Petunias?
Actually, petunias specifically, it's not really all that early.
Wow.
Petunias can take it very chilly, like colder than you think. Now, if you were to take a petunia that was in full bloom right now at our store from our greenhouse that's warm, then and you put it outside and then say we had a night of 32 or less or whatever, like you'd probably lose those blooms. Would you lose the plant? No, but you probably would lose the bloom. So just know that. But honestly, petunias can handle it very cold. So if that was one plant we did want to set out, you probably could. Now, what David said earlier is the same applies for petunias. You put them in cold soil that's still going there now, they're not going to move much this early. But once that soil warms up, they're going to start moving, and they're going to be great just like they are. Oh, they look so good this year, too. They're fresh. Sorry, that was loud.
It wasn't woke us all up.
And the
Yeah.
purple wave petunias are nearly hardy. I mean, I have seen them
Yeah.
winter over. And it's only the purple ones for whatever reason. They seem to be a little more cold tolerant than the other colors, but still, just wait.
Yeah, I mean they're not moving all that much. But David just mentioned wave petunias, y'all. There's a ton of different petunias out there, tons. And we think of like bedding petunias. Wave petunias are ones that they traditionally started growing in like hanging baskets, so they spill out and spill down. Y'all, in the ground, wave petunias fill space so well. If you have space in your garden that you need color, that's what they do. And you just buy a few of them, and they may take up a space. I mean, literally each one, like this big.
They actually can take over.
They really can.
So,
but to get color in those dead spots in your garden, like think about wave petunias, y'all. They seriously are good. I use them every year.
What's your favorite?
Every year.
Tell me.
Lilac, Misty. It used to be Misty.
It's still
Used to
Misty
be
Lilac to you.
It's Misty Lilac
Yeah.
to me. What a name.
I did grow that one last year, and it outperformed all the other ones that I had grown over the years. So
It's
that one
a champ.
is great.
It's a champ.
I'm a fan, but I will always grow black petunias.
They've been very popular too.
They
I grew
have.
black petunias last year. They were actually a pretty good little petunia.
They are. They stay tight. They stay shrubby. And those are hard to keep in stock here. They go off the racks before we even put them out. Those black petunias are gone. Hey, Joyce said, I potted up some dahlias to get a jump start. They spend the night in my house if it's too cool. Joyce
Aw.
has a slumber party with those dahlias.
Joyce. I wouldn't doubt it, Joyce. I'm sure that they're probably tucked up under your pillow with you at night. Hey, we saw Joyce yesterday. It was great to see you.
We did. Yeah, she got some flamingo dappled willow.
Good for you, Joyce, and get
Wow.
ready. Get ready for that thing to explode. I was talking to a guest yesterday, too, an avid customer of ours. She's great. She was out here, and she's grown flamingo dappled willow before, and she was like, isn't that one that, like, really, like, grows? I was like, yeah, you talk about growing. It's not just growing, it's exploding. So, Joyce, good job. It's a great plant, but get ready to cut on it. If you're worried about cutting it or when to do it, don't even think about it. Cut it when it needs it, because it explodes.
Keep it in check. But I will say, water it, because I planted a 1 gallon at the bottom of a slope 2 years ago, and I never watered it, and I knew it was gone. But I was like, maybe it was definitely gone. So I'm actually going to try it again, because we do have small little 1 gallons in.
There you go.
now.
Yes, water, even in August. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Especially in all
75% loss for me last year. So
Yes. Yeah, if you're on the fence, should I water, should I
75?
not water it?
Huh?
Did you say 75% loss for you last year?
3 out of 4 is 75.
Oh, man.
Oh, Josh.
Are you going to try again? No. At least you got that one.
Well, the
natural
one
wet
that
spot.
survived is actually going to be enough, because
That's true.
If you
That's a
keep it
good
watered,
point.
they are growing machines.
Oh my gosh, they take off.
They do. All right. Our next question is geared towards Josh. Oh, if Josh Carey doesn't work at Bates, what does he do?
Who do you work for?
Yeah.
He works for Eddie Crosland,
Yes, I have been
a really good guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, I've been working for the Crosland family since 1986. So, yes.
Josh, that's before I was born.
I
And me.
I understand.
And me.
Yeah, we
Wow.
Yeah, we sell a little lumber, some windows and doors and
Things that go
shingles.
with them.
Yes, anything you need.
Right.
We don't do sheetrock, and we don't like anybody that does do sheetrock. So
Oh.
I mean that's okay. But yeah, we've kind of grown up together, as it were. So, but,
Well, I'll say, Josh, that's pretty cool. 1986, like that's a long career for
Yeah, I
one
didn't realize
place.
you'd been there that
I
long.
didn't know that either. That's pretty awesome.
But
must-
Josh
you-
knows
you
a
must
lot
like
about home building, about lumber. I mean,
well, and if you think back to what the predecessor of Gardening Inside Out was, the At Home Show with Josh Carey and David Bates, it was a home improvement and landscaping show, and we used to touch on,
Or
all
as we
kinds-
used to say, landscaping and home improvement.
or home improvement. landscape.
80% of the calls.
Well,
tend to be
95% of the calls were on
I was
that.
trying to be
but-
generous.
But we,
kind of you,
we
David.
talked a lot about grass, but we did, it goes back to the very, very early days of the program.
We got into a subject matter that we
Yeah.
don't really get into today.
Yeah.
MUFOs,
MUFOs.
those little miniature UFOs people have
Yes,
around.
we had, yeah.
They have die-out spots in the yards.
Yeah, and bare spots.
Yeah.
oh, that's fun though.
And it was a call-in show, and we took every liberty we could. So
Yes, we won. We were award winning. So I mean, and that was actually a home improvement call.
the
but-
great thing about being award-winning, you only have to win one award to be award-winning, and that's all we ever.
That's right.
We were.
That's so true.
Absolutely, but yes, I've been very privileged to work for the family for that long. So
Nice.
Yeah. So now you all know a little bit of background on Josh.
Good.
All right, so we have a guest asking, should I feed newly transplanted peonies or will that shock them more?
I don't think it would shock them. I mean, you're not going to scare them. They're ready to go. And now
They are very ready to go. Mine are pushing.
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. Like most nursery stock you guys buy, y'all already has like fertilizer in the pot. With
Doesn't
it, okay?
come out with no fertilization. Or,
Yeah, and peonies are not like really heavy feeders by any means either. They can handle some poor soils and bad spots. Like they're not picky. So if it's a brand new one, just watch it grow this year. Like it's got what it needs down below. It's gonna send its foliage up and it's gonna bloom this year for you. So just get ready. It's coming.
It's going to
can't
happen.
wait.
Oh, yeah. My Etos are really, really up. And they're
Yeah.
higher on the old wood than they've ever been before. So I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm going to have so many
Ito
blooms this
peony
year.
is one of the finest plants ever developed.
It really is, and people come out to the nursery just to talk about it a little bit because they are pricier than the standard
Considerably
peonies
more,
that you
but
see,
you-
but totally worth it.
It's one of those things you do get what you pay for on those, and it's a lot of money to invest in a single plant, but they do not disappoint.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you will not regret it. They're just so great.
Well, we've talked about Etos too, and I think in my mind anyway, like peonies don't have to be used in a massing scenario, like say azaleas or hydrangeas. For me, like one singular peony in the garden is like that's the one you talk about. That's like, hey, that's my peony. It's in bloom. Like you only need one. So
Yeah.
save up a little money, get you a nice Eto. We've got a great selection of those right now.
And we
by the way.
actually have some new varieties
yeah.
coming from Monrovia, I believe. Julie was showing us the other day that are really pretty. I think they're named after ice cream treats.
Yeah, it was like blueberry icing or something like that. I can't wait.
I've just got the one. I've just got the one. So I mean, and it when it's on,
It's on.
You don't need to talk about anything else.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. It's
It
loud.
does.
What you do need to talk about,
What?
and what we try to educate people about, is the use of earth mixed garden products.
Yes.
No matter what you're growing with, it's an Ito peony or anything else that you might plant in the ground, you got to be thinking about, well, what's the condition of the soil that I'm planting in, and the best way to remedy that is to use the most productive, 100% organic soil that's available, and that's Earth Mix Garden Products, blended and developed right here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a proud seller of Earth Mix Garden Products, as are a great many sellers around, and it's not available at box stores, John. I guess you knew that. It's only available at independent garden centers and businesses. If you go to the Find Earth Mix tab at earthmix.net, you will see all the little pins there, and Tyler's got them now organized by color in different states. And there's those blue ones for Kentucky and the orange ones for Tennessee, Josh. I just thought I would point out those colors. Anyway, and they're the red ones for Alabama.
Yes.
I don't know how green in North Carolina, or anyway, he had to come up with some
To
color.
be determined once we get more locations.
Right. So anyway, what all that means is that if you're in the eastern U.S., it's widely available, and there are some locations out west. So you can put your address in for turn-by-turn directions, and there's a good chance you're going to want to have Earth Mix coming to you.
Yes.
Inquire. There's a dealer inquiries tab up here that you can get your local reseller to inquire, and we'll get in touch with you. Saw a bunch go out this week. A whole load of super sacks going out to Kentucky yesterday. So quite a lot of that. No matter what you're looking for, the entire product line of Earth Mix is available to give you the best results of all the different products that are available. Supernatural, garden, all of the different either outright blends or amendments. Landscape is the premium soil conditioner. Probably one of the best products that we have. It has a lot of uses. So check all that out at earthmix.net. And just remember this: success in gardening begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix Garden Products. And we appreciate you giving us a moment to talk about that. Absolutely 100% organic. Only the finest and best amendments are put in there that endo and ectomycorrhiza, fungi, humic acid, things that really create performance and growth and vitality in your plants. The plants that are the most adept at dealing with stresses, be it drought or insect or fungus, are plants that are really wired into the soil, and they do that through Earth Mix Garden Products. So thanks for giving us a moment to talk about that and to help you in your gardening effort.
You mentioned super sacks.
Yep.
You didn't mention the soil calculator up there in the upper right-hand corner.
I did not.
That is a good thing to have.
And you can click on that. And you just put in your bed dimensions, what type of product you want to use, and it does all the calculations for you. You don't have to really do anything except do some basic measurements of the area that you want to apply it to. So it's a great tool.
You don't have to take it down to the millimeter either. I mean, you just get close.
Well, this actually does not uses the imperial standard. I don't think it uses metrics, Josh.
It should use the metric if you wanted it to be a metric. You can calculate it. I mean, it's not a hard conversion.
2.54. If you want to, I'm familiar.
Okay.
But anyway, in case you're not, we put it in imperial because that's what is used around.
That's the way you roll, man. You're imperial kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyway, check it out over at earthmix.net. Thanks for giving us a minute to talk about that. Help you take the work out of gardening. Increase your success. Get back to the fun part of it, because it's digging in the dirt time, and that's what we talk about here.
Yes,
Sunshine, water, plants, and Earth Mix. Man.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tyler.
What's
in bloom with Austin.
Thanks, Tyler.
I hope that was the right audio for
That
this
was
one.
perfect. You know what? Doing What's in Bloom. We're also doing the Goat today, which is a totally different scenario. But let's go over some of the things that y'all see blooming. Okay, daffodils still going off. Tulips I just saw in the city. I was in the city yesterday, y'all. In Nashville. I know.
That's insane.
I don't know what I was doing there. I was lost.
Wait, why were you in the
Literally,
city?
I was lost.
Tell them why you were in the city.
I was helping a guy.
No, you were doing something on the news.
Oh yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I did a thing.
He was
on
in the
news.
city twice.
I
one
was.
day.
Same
That's
day.
big for this guy.
Yeah, I did a morning line with Nick Barris yesterday or 2 days ago.
Nick's a great guy.
Oh, what a great guy. He's an avid gardener, too, and a beekeeper, and what a nice guy. And I got to chat with him for an hour on News Channel 5 Plus, so thanks for that.
And you were talking all about gardening.
Yes, we were.
People
It was
can go back
Did you
and
call him
watch it.
Mick like Joe Dubin does?
Call him Mick?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I shook his hand. I was like, thanks, Nick. Like, because I've been watching him since I've been a kid.
Joe Dubin picks on him all the time, calls him Mick. That's right.
He's such a great guy, though. Seriously, it was very nice. But anyway, okay, so other things. What about the flowering almond? What do y'all know about that?
Oh,
You have one, don't you? Or you used
are
to
not gonna
have
talk-
one?
we're
Okay,
not
we're
gonna
not
talk
talking
about
about it.
that.
But anyway, flowering almond is a cute little shrub that you don't see very often. And then, hey, obviously your forsythia, obviously your bridal wreath spirea, and obviously quince. Those three are some old school classics, but they're showing out this year, okay? This week I noticed rhododendron for the first time, and what about the most awesome flowering evergreen shade plant? Not one better, if you ask me. Rhododendron is gorgeous and only getting better for the next couple weeks, okay? They're great. Hey, your fruit trees, pears, peaches, apples. Apples just started this week, okay? Those look great. I love it. And Yoshino cherry. Josh even said it before the show today. Yoshino cherry, it is a cloud of white smoke out there, people. All the white trees you're seeing that are full show, those are all Yoshino cherry, which is fantastic. Crab apples this week took off, look great. Red buds are amazing. Dogwoods, not yet, y'all. I thought dogwoods would be in full bloom this week, but nope, not yet. Wait till next week. I think they're going to be. And then let's talk about the goat. That's what's in bloom. And I love blooming things. Y'all know me. But you know what? This week is the week of the goat of spring foliage. Hey, the goat is Japanese maples.
yes.
And you know what? We all know Japanese maples. It's fairly common, but you don't know them until you see them. How we have them displayed here at the store. Tyler and I are going to do a walk around next week probably and film the new growth of the Japanese maples. Okay?
I'm going to go ahead and give you a teaser right now.
All right, teaser. Look at these.
Oh.
Look at these. Twombly's red on the left, which is a gorgeous red, and they're like unfurling, crinkling out. They're fantastic, and that red is gorgeous. On the right, Mikawa Yatsubusa, which may be my favorite maple that we sell. It is awesome, and those little crinkly leaves are looking great with those red bits on them. They're fantastic, y'all. So many varieties of Japanese maple, and Japanese maple is known for its fall color, most definitely, but it is also known for its spring flush color. Tyler, can you put up my Japanese maple that I took last night? I was just looking at it. Oh, right there on the left.
Actually, we've got a little double treat.
We got a double treat. That's Caroline's on the right, which is in her yard. On the left, mine in my yard, which is mine, is the Greenleaf Weeper Ryusen, which is fantastic. And Caroline's is the beautiful upright Katsura on the right.
There's actually one behind it, too, in the photo that's starting to leaf out.
I see that red poking up behind it. That's beautiful. And Caroline, your Katsura is like orange right now.
I know.
It's orangey yellow.
So pretty.
Yes, now that is going to change. All of the foliage color changes on Japanese maple from the spring flush for the most part. And it goes different, but those two people, y'all, the goat of spring foliage, Japanese maples, we have a great selection right now, and they are all just poking out. Come and look at them, please. Okay? That's what's in bloom. That's the goat. Thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Way to go, Austin.
Yeah.
Bringing it.
Not trying to correct you, but
Oh, God.
But
Really?
did you mention lilac? Just because mine is blooming now, and I've been waiting for it.
No, I forgot about lilac.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
There's a lot to know right now because everything is
That's
blooming.
not a correction. That's just
No.
an addendum.
That's right.
true.
Addendum.
That's right.
Yes.
So is your lilac blooming at your house?
It is. It's not like in full bloom, but it's like halfway open.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky to have lilac, go out and smell it. We talked about that last week. That's great.
I'm excited because this is the most it's ever been in bloom before. So it is looking fantastic.
Enjoy lilacs while they're
there.
doing it because they can go really awful.
That is true. But I do have mine planted between two limelight hydrangeas. So those haven't really woken up. They're just starting to crack. So right now my lilac, you can see it. It's blooming. It's starting to get some leaves.
They're definitely worth having. You just got this window of opportunity, and then they start getting foliage issues and all of that. You know, we're not in the best spot of the country for lilac.
True.
Further north, they do a lot better. We have a lot of powdery mildew, which is the primary culprit. But hasn't happened yet. Get out there and enjoy those flowers.
Do it. And then hide it with some big old hydrangeas in the summer.
There you go.
All right,
But
we are getting what?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm with Austin on the foliage on the Japanese maples.
Oh, yeah.
It is the time of the year. That's why you invest in them, as
Seriously.
far as I'm concerned. That first happy day is just you walk out there and you go, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get home and I see my little Katsura, I'm like, oh, look at you. And I can see it from the road, which is pretty far.
Yes, and the one thing to note is that every fall can be different here. We don't know what the summer's going to bring, if we can get droughty, how fall color is going to be. So if you have a Japanese maple, you can't expect it to be just gorgeous every fall here in Middle Tennessee. It's not reliable. What is reliable is that spring flush.
Absolutely.
That is always coming, and it is fantastic.
Yes, it's always coming. All right.
Uh-huh.
And so are questions. So
Hey, send 'em
let's
on.
dive back in. Cherry is asking. Now, this might be the Cherry we got to see the other day when
Yes,
we were
Cherry.
shooting the No Down. So shout out to you. You're back. It's spring. We hadn't seen you in a minute. But she's saying, my azaleas look like sticks with a few leaves on them. I have fed them. What can I do to make them look bushier?
So probably need to give them a cutback after they bloom this year. So, Cherry, I'm assuming it's still going to bloom because a lot of times azaleas can do that. They can look rough and the old leaves don't look great. And then all of a sudden, they explode with blooms. So I'm assuming that's still going to happen for you, or I hope it is anyway. After that happens and it's done full blooming and you love it, after that, let's give that a cutback and shorten by maybe even half. And that should get new leaves bushier, lower, and it should look a lot better the next year.
Wonderful. And then Deborah says, do wave petunias have to be deadheaded? Super petunias do not. Will you give me a comparison?
I like to deadhead them, yes. Now, are petunias fun to deadhead? No, not at all. They can
They're so sticky.
They get sticky, and even after a rain, they're mushy. They're not the most fun to deadhead.
Don't do it after a rain.
No. Your fingers will be stained for a week. But it depends on how tidy you are. I mean, honestly, the blooms will just fall off just like other petunias will. Now, I like to kind of keep them clean. That's just me personally. But it's not fun to deadhead them. So it depends. But they don't need to be deadheaded near as much as some other things. There you go.
Perfect. Joyce and Pam are having a little conversation on the Gardening Inside Out page, but they're both saying Itos, everybody needs them. Pam has 4. Everybody needs them. And then Joyce says, my Korean spice viburnum is blooming too.
Oh, good.
And then Janet says, appreciate Austin reporting Japanese maple colors leafing out. So, yeah.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be a fun video. We're going to walk through there and just show multiple varieties.
It's insane.
How many varieties do we sell? At least 50, I would say, right?
I don't think I've ever.
at
We'll talk about this in a minute.
Yeah,
but
Carolina will get there in a second. But that,
The ones in the corner. Oh, Josh, are you going to spend some money today? Yes, bring that home. While you think about it, let's get to our next question. So the plant lady is asking, I have been asked if I can find for my client a cinnamon tree. I've never seen them in Kentucky, but maybe you all carry them. Now, if you're talking about, we have one in houseplants called cinnamon tree. It's not the culinary cinnamon. Candela, I can't remember the full name, but we do have one of those in stock if that's what you're looking for.
I'd say that's what they're looking for, probably. That's what most people say.
And we get them in. We don't get a ton in, but we do carry them from time to time. We have one that's about my height. Actually, it's about 7 foot, and I'm not 7 feet tall.
No, you're not.
It's in a
You're
14-inch pot.
That would be wild.
That's 2 Carolines.
Can you?
7 foot.
Because I'm 3.5
2
feet
bird
tall.
baths, right?
Yes, 2 bird baths. That's right, Josh. I'm glad you remember how I measure.
Oh, yeah.
In bird bath tops. It's not
hilarious.
tops. It's not the actual bird bath, but just the tops.
Hey, what an attractive plant, though. The cinnamon tree. Like
It is. When we get them in,
Extremely
people
glossy.
are always like, what is that? It's got pointy, dark green, glossy leaves. It doesn't grow as wide as a lot of the like tree houseplants that we sell, like a lot of the ficus. It's a really cool one and fun to cut on. So
it's beautiful. I
it
love
is.
that plant.
It's a stunner.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Josh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Can rhubarb, asparagus, and ginger be grown in the ground, or do they need a raised bed?
Oh, they can be grown. in
I
the
have
ground.
grown all of those in the ground.
I mean-
My asparagus took over.
I was about to say asparagus is like almost a weed around here, y'all. Like it can really reseed. and go.
Eventually, yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's
but what do you do with rhubarb? I mean,
Oh,
there's this.
if you've never had rhubarb pie?
Oh, I have. And that's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Rhubarb pie is actually strawberry pie that you stick a little rhubarb in.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, let's just go ahead and put the truth out there. Rhubarb pie has little to do with rhubarb.
I agree.
And what you do is you pick the little rhubarb sticks out of there so you get down to the strawberries.
Your southern nature's coming out. You go up into northern Minnesota and get some of that rhubarb pie.
Minnesota.
It's a whole different deal, man.
Well, it's a whole different deal growing rhubarb up
Right,
there too.
right.
Like it grows way better up there than
Yeah,
it
it
does,
does.
here in the South. I mean, it's a little hot here for rhubarb. Let's be
It
honest.
is.
But it is a beautiful plant. I'll give you that.
Oh,
I'm with
gosh,
David
yeah.
on the pie. I've had rhubarb pie, and I'm like, what? Yeah,
It's an interesting plant to grow, and I
You
think
can't
it's a
eat
nice
all
little-
of it either, from what I understand. You usually go after the stalks. I think
really
certain
can't eat
portions
any of it.
yeah.
But to each his own, or her own, as the case may be.
Yes. And then when it comes to ginger, what is ginger? Well, ginger doesn't grow. Where does ginger grow? Like California, I think, right?
It's a root.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
grow
it's
it
a
out
root
in the-
crop. I don't know of many ginger farms here.
All the ginger that I've
farms
ever
here.
had experience with was out digging it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a root crop.
Out in the wild. So I really don't have any experience in actually cultivating that.
I don't either. I mean, you don't really see it sold in garden centers. Not that I've seen. I don't see much ginger root sold. So.
That's right, Joyce. Your mom's rhubarb pie didn't have any strawberries.
Oh, Joyce.
That's
yes.
right.
Get it, Joyce.
Joyce.
Okay.
But yeah, all of those can be grown in the ground. Let's talk raspberries and eucalyptus. I have there's a viewer that says they always die. Any tips? Now, I'll talk about eucalyptus. That one can be tricky. There are some varieties that are fairly hardy here. Tyler's had one outside for a couple years now.
Still alive, and it's 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall.
Tyler.
They will get big. They are trees
And
over
I
time.
just staked it because it was leaning over really badly and it was frightening me on my greenhouse.
Oh.
But yeah, it's about to get big, and I don't know what's going to stop it if this winter didn't.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop it. And that's the glacier eucalyptus, but those need a lot of sunlight. When I grow it, I put it in like full all day sun. And then if you are treating it as a houseplant, they do like humidity and they like to stay fairly moist, I've come to learn, in my home during the winter. So a lot of sun and humidity. Now, raspberries, those...
I don't know why raspberries
I'm
dying on you.
stumped.
I'm kind of stumped on that too because
Yeah.
raspberries are insane plants.
They are.
I mean, once they try again. First off, like don't give up on a raspberry just because you had bad luck with one. Like, plant one again because once it latches in, you've got a raspberry for a long time. I mean, I've literally seen like 30-foot canes on a raspberry if you've never pruned it. Like, they are incredible plants. So try again. It's okay. Raspberry, they don't need to stay wet. I think may be the only thing. They can be on the dry side, but raspberries are typically very
And
easy plants to
sun.
grow.
Make
Oh, in
sure
full
they're in
sun,
sun.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
gardening is not all about success.
Oh, it's not.
It's about learning from the things that don't go quite as expected.
Yeah.
So, and
Like
it doesn't
dappled
make you a
lilies.
bad gardener because something dies every now. It just makes you a gardener.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
It's a learning
everybody who plants anything has something that doesn't make it.
Of course. I don't care how good you are. You've had
And
something to
the difference is that it happens to us and we don't take it personally.
Not at all. We throw it in the woods and move on.
That's it.
I've killed so many things or had them die on me. I don't know which one it is.
You know,
I'm making a walking stick out of Mr. Wu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that he's still around.
Yeah, he still sits beside the steps. Yes.
Just sits
He's
there.
still there.
Yeah, he's still there. So, gonna get hard to carve him though. It's hard wood.
Well, now it is. Since
Yeah, it's seasoned now.
it's powder dry.
Poor buddy. All right, suggestions for my 3 planters by my pool. I want color, but not bees.
Okay.
Color, but not bees.
Color, but not bees. What I'm thinking of is Color Guard Yucca. I've done those for a poolside planter
There you go.
before. Now, they will flower, and you'll get bees with that, but you can cut off the bloom spike. You don't have to have it flower.
Yeah. I mean, my go-to all the time with pool areas is grasses. I mean,
Yes.
you won't see bees on grasses. Even when they do go to flower, you don't see bees on them that much. I mean,
Eh.
sometimes birds like later, but grasses are great around pool areas. They
What
sway in the
color do
breeze.
you want? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Are you a
Yeah.
yellow person or a green person or a red?
Yeah, now if we're talking about color when it comes to flowers, like bees are probably going to be on that no matter what flowering
Right.
plant you go to. So let's switch over and go to like foliage color.
Yeah.
Like if you want color, you can get, I know Caroline loves coleus. You can go the coleus route. There are more sun tolerant coleus and more shade tolerant coleus. So kind of know that when you come shopping, the
Yep.
real shade loving ones aren't going to stand up to the sun all that great. So get some more sun loving coleus, but that's got good foliage color to get a lot of color in those pots.
Birds, bees don't really like crepe myrtles either. I mean, they get, you see the blooms, but you don't see them really going crazy on them.
Josh, that's not a bad idea when it comes to like dwarf crepe myrtle in a
Yeah.
pot in the summertime, like with nice and tight over top of your pot. Like that's a good idea too
Would
for
it
a
get real
flowering
messy
plant.
for a pool?
Yeah, I mean,
They do get that.
the grasses do the same thing though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. When the seed heads blow, they'll go everywhere.
Just get rid of your pool.
Well, you just got to decide
That's
whether
what you got to do. No
just
one
got to
needs a
decide
pool.
what's more important: no bees or a little mess.
I'd rather
know,
have the bees.
I would rather have the bees. I got home yesterday, and I always do like a little garden walk when I'm home during the day, and a lot of stuff is blooming, a lot of stuff is leafing, but my red buds are in full bloom, and it was covered in bees. I was
Mine
so
are
happy.
vibrating.
All different sizes of bees.
Yeah, and I think that now there are people who have allergies
Severe
to bee
allergies,
stings,
yes.
and I understand that, but I haven't been stung by a bee in years, and I we used to grow like lots of hollies, and there would be hundreds of hollies with tens of thousands of blooms and bees, and you could go in there and just pick them out, the hollies out of there, set them outside, and never get stung. They get intoxicated by the flowers. They're not interested in you.
Right.
So, as long as you don't swat at them, they'll just, you can even put your hand down there right on them, and they'll just kind of either land or fly to the flower. They're not interested in stinging you.
As a reformed pool owner, I will. I remember.
Me too.
The wasp, the ground wasps, the little mud daubers, they're the ones that get you in the pool. And
I was just about to say that. They fly and they get a drink, and they're right there in front of you.
They drown.
Yeah, no, that's a different deal. And maybe a lot of people haven't taken the time to learn the distinctions between a wasp. You know, yellow jackets are they're really bad.
The meanest.
Because they have yellow and black on them. It is possible to misidentify those as a bee. They're not a bee. They're very aggressive, and but
they're jerks, man.
They are. The bees might
they're
actually
chicken
help
too. They sneak up on you from behind and zap you in the back.
They're notorious.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
What?
There's a whole lot of things you can get that are both flowering and not flowering, and those are available right here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. And no matter what you're looking for, you know, chances are we have it, Josh.
Yes.
We've got just all manner of things. And if you're curious as to what those things might be, you can go to our website, batesnursery.com, and you can type into the search bar there whatever it is you're looking for, and a whole list will come up. Or you can just do it by categories.
Yep.
And that provides really excellent. You just go to where it says store, and you can just go to trees. Since we've kind of talked about Japanese maples today, we'll just click down there on that one and bring up a list of Japanese maples.
Wow.
Right? There are just a great many wonderful trees and shrubs, but the Japanese maples are, as Austin's already said, they're really spectacular. And this is the time to be looking for those. And I cleared my tab out here. I didn't mean I clicked on the wrong thing. So anyway, but come on out, see us at Bates Nursery, and what you'll find in addition to plants, it's a tremendous amount of expertise, and we're not limited to just the information on the website. You know, we have walking around knowledge, Josh.
You do.
Just like the guys that sell lumber for a business, they know all about that. Well, that's what we do with plants, and we don't do other things. So we really take the time to get a good education on it. And since we're all are plant enthusiasts, we talk amongst ourselves quite a lot, and we're always picking up new information and new ideas. So when you come out, chances are we're going to be ready to give you an answer that can actually be beneficial to your particular application, help you to grow the things and get the right plants in the right place the first time. And it's worth spending a little time to bring photographs out here with you, either on your smartphone or on a tablet, so that you can share your particular landscape situation with us and give us insight, so that we can help make the suggestions so that you don't plant things in the wrong spot. That's the biggest waste of, landscapeicide is one of those things that does occur when people impulse buy something. And, it's not wrong to impulse buy, but it shows up when you start sticking things in the landscape when they're in the wrong spot, and people plant things. Oh, that looks really nice. It's a little small thing. Well, now it'll get big. So just be mindful of that as you get into your landscaping endeavors. And of course, we want you to have the best success at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We're going to give you all the best things, and that includes Earth Mix Garden products to make sure that you, no matter if you're planting in already prepared soil, or if you need to amend the soil you already have, we have all the products, the entire line, including super sacks and bulk materials, right here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. So come out and see us. By the way, speaking of bulk materials, if you haven't bought garden this year in bulk, it's decidedly improved over last year. We have a mechanical process that we run it through now, and Austin has spoken about this. It is so much nicer. It is just amazing how wonderful it is. So if you're a regular buyer of garden, you will notice that it is extremely homogeneous, and it's the same blend as before. It's just been run through a mechanical process that really improves the overall consistency and quality of it. So check it out if you happen to need a scoop of Earth Mix Garden. We are conveniently located, Josh, 1 mile north of Briley Parkway.
Yes.
At exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike, which is just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville. And it doesn't matter where you're driving from, including Smyrna.
That's true.
It's worth the drive. So come see us. We have folks that make their annual pilgrimage out to see us. And we're always, be it from Sykeston, Missouri, or Knoxville, Tennessee, or Atlanta, Georgia, or wherever. We have folks that make this drive because we have what other places don't have. Come see us. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932, our 93rd year. This is actually the our golden anniversary of the Garden Center construction.
50 years?
50 years ago,
Wow.
we built the Garden Center, and in celebration of that, the last few years we've been really working on our facilities. All new pavement. We have many new carts. It's a decidedly improved shopping experience. If you haven't been out here since last spring, I think you'll see that when you come. See us.
Hey,
Bates Nursery.
don't forget to go inside. Go into the garden center.
Well,
and see
Caroline's
what's going.
feelings will be hurt.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so hurt if you don't come visit me.
You got the full Espoma line, all the other goodies in there.
Yeah.
Well, you
Not to
kind of have to
mention-
go in there if you buy anything.
And all the every kind of
Well,
container,
they're usually in there and getting out. Trying to go.
any kind of container color,
Yes.
and our checkout lines, which we have 8 of, and they are queued so that we can get you in. Even if it looks like there's a bit of a line, I promise you, it moves quickly. We really work hard at making sure that it is a pleasant and short wait at Bates Nursery and
Yes.
Garden Center. So come see us.
Efficient.
Very efficient. People
It's
are coming in
amazing.
and out of there. Speaking of in and out, there's stuff.
What's in room with Caroline?
So on it. All right, let's talk about what we've got in room. We'll start in the corners because Josh has already been admiring this plant.
Gosh, where have you been hiding?
This is
it?
Harp Springs.
Harp Springs. Let's go jump on it.
We're starting strong. Harp Strings.
There you go.
Japanese maple. So look at this little lace leaf. I mean, it is like the
laciest of lace
the
leaves.
laciest of lace leaves. That's a tongue twister, and I've already had one. Japanese maple. We've got quite a few in stock. I think we had 4 back there. So Josh, you could take 4 home if you wanted to. He's thinking about it. But this would be a great little specimen in your beds. I mean, it just looks so different than most Japanese maple with that leaf shape. It is stunning. And then, of course, we had to bring in lilacs because those are starting to bloom. This is double blue. So you'll see it right above my
Really
head
lovely.
and David's. Yeah.
Really lovely.
Very, very nice. And then we've got encore azaleas right here.
Bravo.
Can you see 'em?
bravo,
Yeah,
Right.
bravo.
Oh, we can.
no.
Not really.
The Columbine.
Oh,
There it is.
We've got Autumn Majesty right
Bravo.
here. Oh. and
Encore.
then I made an Austin noise.
Yeah, you did.
Autumn Carnation. So look at those. They are starting to bloom. Mine at my home are not blooming quite yet.
No.
But I am ready. I'm patiently awaiting for them to be in bloom. So let's talk about what's in front of us. We've got Kaleidoscope Abelia that Austin brought in down in front of the table.
Nice.
Foliage color.
There it is.
Ooh, it's bright.
It
That
is.
would be good around a pool too, but I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could. I mean,
yeah.
And they
Don't see
do
why not.
flower, but they're not really all that showy. I don't think that. Mostly, it's just colorful foliage.
Yes.
yeah, it's. I would say it's prettier in real life than it is
Yes.
on camera right now. Which it's very pretty on camera as well. But you see it in real time, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is that? Then we had to bring in quite a few Dicentra. So bleeding heart, that's starting to pop up. If you have that in any of your shade-loving beds, mine aren't blooming yet, but I did notice my 2 are starting to come up. So in front of us, this yellow plant, we've got gold heart, which when Austin picked this one out, I thought it was his favorite, Sun King Aurelia. It looks very similar to that. The leaves are really big, but when you get close, you see those stems are kind of can we see it? Right here.
Is that a Dicentra?
Tyler, can you go up a
that's
little
good.
bit?
Yeah, it's a golden bleeding heart.
Tyler, can you go up a
I
little
mean,
bit?
is it higher than this?
It's in front of
It's
me.
just right there. Anyway,
But you can kind of see it up in the very top corner.
up in there. Yeah.
Up in there.
Is
those yellow leaves.
Okay. Am I missing it?
It's this one right
Oh,
here.
oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I forgot to change the camera over.
There it
I was
is.
operating the camera.
I thought you were
without
like
it being
Caroline. You could
live.
see the very bottom of it.
Oh, man.
All right, so
Why is
now
it
we're
not
on
working?
it. And you can see the little bleeding heart blooms, the dicentra blooms on the plants in front that have more of like a little lace leaf right there. Oh, so
That's
cute.
the more traditional one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have a lot in stock right
Wiggles.
now. Come visit Celeste back in Shade Perennials and say hi. And then if you're wondering
Gonna double
what this
back. I'm
purple and
I was doubling back to the kaleidoscope because I didn't change the camera to show you the detail. On that.
Okay,
Oh,
now,
gotcha. No, you're good, Tyler.
And that accentuates what Caroline was talking about. How much that gives you a much better view of what the foliage actually looks like.
Right.
It's almost kind of all blended together in a wide shot.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, but you can see all the detail on those little leaves. Then in the corner, I'm actually buying one of these today that I'm going to take home and plant. We've got raspberry frost pulmonaria. So I know your mother-in-law has this, and you're always like, it is a great plant. It's solid. It's a great shade perennial that's going to give you a lot of color. There's some that are more solid purple, some that are more solid pink, and then others that are very, very multicolored. But it's a
pulmonaria
really cool
sounds
one.
like it ought to be a bleeding heart because of the
It really
pulmonary
does.
system, but it's not. But I don't know where
That's lungy, isn't
I
it?
don't know where the word pulmonaria came from, but you hear it associated with circulatory things with regard to heart. So I don't know.
It's very interesting, but a cool plant. And then columbine. We have so much. It's columbine's time to shine. I have the native at my house. It is up. Hasn't bloomed yet, but those little lanterns will be peeking up before I know it. So we've got a lot of different varieties up here on our hot plate. We have early bird purple. I brought this one in because you can see it's like double purple. Typically, with these really, really cool, bigger, colorful ones, it's more of a white in the center with a purple, pink, what have you,
Really
color on
putting
the
on a show.
outside.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I mean, you walk back into Shade Perennials
From
and
my
it's like,
perspective,
wow.
it looks so much better than Austin does.
You're so glad to have that right there, spinning on that hot plate. But this is what we have in room today. We wanted to bring in a small sampling of what is back in Shade Perennials in front of us, and it is a lot of really cool stuff. I talk about it. I love Shade Perennials. My Shade Perennial bed is coming up right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that another one, David?
We couldn't fit them all. There was
Yeah,
so
I
many.
know.
right.
There's so many. There's also two more on the ground. So
the one with
this
the
is one of the
white
ones with the white
really
center.
outstanding.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
It look like they've got little thrusters on the back of the flowers.
They
Also.
do.
Little
Yeah.
spoilers.
take off.
Yeah, they're like,
Uh-huh.
I love them. But
cool.
thank you all.
Great work.
Thank you. All right, let's get to some photos if we're ready for those.
Okay.
Good to go.
Do it.
Let's
Let's
do it,
do it.
T.Y.
Which one are we starting with?
How about
It's a
Joyce?
surprise.
Joyce.
Bing bong.
Oh.
So Joyce sent, let me pull
Viburnum.
up. Yep, Joyce sent that viburnum looking so pretty. Joyce, your garden is, maybe we should just come do a tour of your garden sometimes.
That'd be a good idea.
That would be a great idea.
Smells
Joyce,
so
we're coming over after work.
good.
Yeah, after work, we're all
see ya.
showing up with the camera crew, aka Tyler.
Hey, Joyce, what was that viburnum, by the way? It was a Shasta, maybe? Or
Look like a Shasta. to
yeah.
me.
Shasta, yeah.
maybe summer snowflake,
Oh,
maybe.
wait, no, she says summer snowflake.
Yeah,
Okay, it is
they
a-
look very similar. So,
A
but-
tomentosum of some sort.
Yep. Within the next couple of weeks, we'll really be talking about viburnum because they're about to show out, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
I have quite a few that are like budded up and they're so cute. Yep, they're adorable. And then Andrea, do you have Andrea's photo?
Yes.
So Andrea's saying, I've got a problem area in my side yard. The slope surrounds this water run off. Area is pretty steep, like the hill in the background. I'd like to soften with plants, but I'd also like to deter anyone from going past the crest of the first hill. I was thinking prickly grasses, but I'd love to get your thoughts. Also, we don't have irrigation in this area, and it is full sun.
Okay. I mean, immediately my brain went to grasses on this.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know about pokey grasses or not, but like switchgrass, which is our most common erosion control plant, and it's beautiful.
And you don't want to walk through it, so people wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm going to go
about
walk
yucca?
through that."
You might be
grass."
able to go out into
Yucca
nature
would be
and
good.
collect some sawbriars.
Yeah.
And those will stop
There you go.
traffic.
Yeah, but I think that would look awesome with grasses just blowing in the breeze back there.
beautiful.
It would be beautiful. And then Julie has sent a 2-part email with photos. So let's start with the first one. Julie says, last Saturday, I asked a question about pruning the Murray cypress. We have a top cypress hill in our backyard, but we should have provided more information. Y'all are good, but not mind readers. After the freeze a couple years ago, we only removed the dead branches and let these trees recover. Now they are healthier in some areas, which leads to our question. The area on the left is okay. but the area on the right is overtaking the drift roses. Should we prune a branch on this type of tree where it divides, or is it better to take it to the trunk? Also, do we need to seal the pruned area?
You don't necessarily need to seal the pruned area or anything. And I think that if it's getting into your drift roses, we need to just, we need to get rid of that, whatever's coming into that.
Yeah.
So
either the drift roses need to be moved, or what was the other plant? I couldn't even
Leland cypress coming into it, yeah.
The Leland cypress is going to get big.
Oh, yeah, they get huge. And
So that's almost a weed in that particular landscape situation. I mean,
That's gorgeous, though.
Unless you
Really is.
They may be a plant out of place. They're just going to get so large, you're going to have a really difficult time. If you're looking for a columnar type of conifer, there are a number of good choices there. Anything from an emerald arborvitae to a Taylor juniper to a number of things that are more fastigate and might allow you to have both together. Mm-hmm. But Leland cypress is going to take over.
Yeah, and to answer your question too is take it to the main stem. Yes, don't just cut the limb back off the rose a little bit, because within weeks you're going to see that right back onto your rose again. So let's go ahead and take the whole limb tight to the stem, and it should be fine. They those were the Lelands that like prunes. Remember?
Oh yeah, they like the prunes from last week.
That was them.
They like that little snack. All right, and then second part of the email says, I tried Earth Mix Organics I to plant some cuttings in December. The plant on the right. Just realized while watering last weekend, the cuttings I'd potted last July in a big box store brand, I'm not going to mention the brand name, potting soil don't look nearly as robust. I am sold on Earth Mix.
Should be.
Do you have the photo?
And none of these two photos are it? It was a different one?
It was a different one.
Oh my goodness. No, I don't. I'm sorry.
That's
not
unusual experience. I mean, there is a vast difference in the approach. Your mass merchant types of soils and amendments are just that. Much of it is a function of, can we lower the cost? And in Earth Mix, it's about raising the level of productivity and how prolific the soil is. So if you're into really growing stuff, it's going to give you much better results. Does the cost per bag justify it? I would say yes.
I would say so. I use a lot of that, and I had used a lot of other brands before I came to Bates Nursery, and it is a game changer. It's a huge difference. But you can see that Maranta, so that's a prayer plant that she's propped, and the one on the right, which has the Earth Mix, you can't even see the soil. It's so healthy. Look at those leaves.
Folks, when you're doing your comparison shopping, and David talks about price, make sure you get the same size bag. Mm-hmm. Okay, make sure that you're looking at the proper mix for what it is that you're going to try to do. But just because it looks cheaper because it's cheaper by the bag doesn't necessarily mean that it is really cheaper.
That's where you need to have actual experience. And what she's talking about there was an unintended experiment she just happened to do, but it did still produce the same kind of results where the plant.
Did the other plant grow? Yes, but did it grow as well as the other one? No.
Yeah, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There's proof.
Yep, it is good stuff. All right, y'all, we are getting so many live questions and comments in. Mikey on YouTube, back to the pole planter, says purple fountain grass is my favorite.
That's a good choice.
That may be the GOAT when it comes to an annual grass around here, and especially around a pool area. You buy a little thing this big, and then it gets this big by the end of the season.
You should never buy big purple fountain grass. They just are growing machines, and they're gorgeous.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, just like lemongrass. You could do that one and have a culinary grass by your pool. Mm-hmm. And then Caitlin says, I've got a problem. A blackberry bush I need to get out of my flower bed. It refuses to be cut back. How do I ensure it stays dead? It's just spreading out.
Caitlin, this is so hard. Blackberries are insane creatures, Caitlin. Yeah. They just are, okay? Why do you want to get rid of it, Caitlin? Your two kids are going to enjoy that thing. I know they are. I know who you are, Caitlin. And you need to grow the blackberry. You're going to have an easier time growing it and getting fruit off of it than you are trying to remove it. Okay.
Now, if you're going to try to remove it, buy you some big welding gloves, the big leather gloves that come up to here. And I'm not kidding.
And eye protection.
Yeah, and eye protection, and you're going to have someone willing to help you tie the thing up.
A leather coat.
It's a lot. It's a lot to go through.
They bite.
Unless you're growing a thornless.
Yeah,
unless, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, If you really want, I mean, you think you dug it all up, and then you realize you haven't. It'll send new stems up. So that's a hard battle, Caitlin. Hard.
But you can do it. You can get that out if you want to.
Just grow it. Just grow those blackberries.
And then Jay is asking, when should I plant my pumpkins?
Not yet. Not quite
soon,
yet.
Jay.
Yeah. So that's a really hot summer love. And that's kind of, same as watermelon and squash. Like we need temperatures and soil temperature. And you do pumpkins from seed. So we definitely need our temperatures to raise a little bit because you direct sow those straight into the garden.
When you start sweating, plant them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Wait it out.
Oh, that's a good thought. I was like, what's the word? Jay says, sorry, that was Jay. Kay says, do hibiscus attract bees?
Mine does.
Yeah, when they bloom, I would say those bees are going to love it.
Everything that flowers, pretty
And
much.
hummingbirds.
Yeah.
Typically does.
It's a great
And
one, though.
hummingbirds, yes.
They bathe in it like a bathtub, like a pool.
And then let's get to one more live question. Debbie says, I need a great green tall grass for white tall pots.
You know what I'm going with.
He's going to say north wind switchgrass.
There it is. Said it for me. I don't even have to. That's my favorite grass on the planet. It's the best. But we sell lots. Come see Bridge. She'll help you with grass.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Probably got a white pot to put it in so you can
Oh,
see
and
exactly what it's
oh,
going to look
so
like.
many
One thing,
white
by the
pots.
way, I didn't mention newsletter this week, and this is not a sale. This is every day. Is our 4-inch perennials. We hadn't talked about it.
yeah.
I mean, they are the deal of all deals. $379 by the each. If you buy a flat of 18, they're just like $333 a piece.
Yep.
So you can mix and match them. So come out any day you want to. We have them all the time.
That's right. And Joyce, if you wanted to bring some of the rhubarb custard by, we would sample it on the air next week if you really wanted it.
Those who eat it would.
I would.
Oh, man, it sounds so good. Hey, folks, Saturday morning is time for Gardening Inside Out. Next Saturday morning, we're going to do it again right here from Bates
Absolutely.
Nursery and Garden
Right here.
Center. Open tomorrow till 4 o'clock, 12 to 4.
Noon to 4.
Yeah,
Yep.
and come out and
We
get it
should be able
going.
to get around the rain this weekend, so come see us.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. Hey, for everybody here Gardening Inside Out, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you right here next Saturday morning.